Oh, baby, baby, baby. Has Clark the Shark got an album for y'all today? Son of Schmilsson. 1972, baby. Clark the Shark was only 7 years old. But I remember Son of Schmilsson. And what an album this is. Now, this is like his ninth album, but a lot of people back in the day, in the early 70s, thought like NILSSON, SCHMILSSON, or, The Point, they thought those were like the Harry debut albums or something. But, Harry had put out man, we're talking, for those of us who dissect the career of Harry, this is like the 11th album or something. I mean, it's kind of like ELO. You think Out of the Blue, or, ELO's from 1978, and you forget that band goes all the way back to 1971 with just tons and tons of albums, all the way back to the band The Move in the 60s, and Harry is like that too. I mean, NILSSON, SCHMILSSON, and then you got the people that are like, oh, well, NILSSON, SCHMILSSON's his only good album. The rest are terrible. Harry, he's a great singer, but he's so terrible, Harry Nilsson. But Son of Schmilsson, man, I think this is better than NILSSON, SCHMILSSON, because, look at Harry. He's like a vampire. He's like, oh, Son of Schmilsson. Look at him. He's just some evil vampire up on a staircase. I mean, back in the 70s, Harry. And a lot of people say that Son of Schmilsson, 1972, this is like the beginning of the end of Harry. NILSSON, SCHMILSSON was like the orgasm crescendo of his career. He had some nice little build up with those albums in the 60s, and the album Harry kind of shocked everyone. But then, Nilsson sings Newman is cool, and then of course The Point. But he just hit the ball right out of the park, and he autographed the ball with NILSSON, SCHMILSSON. But to me, Son of Schmilsson, 1972 by Harry Nilsson. This is the best Harry album, man. And Take 54, where Harry is he's just going to sing his balls off, and he needs a girl in the studio, Ringo, go get me a girl, Harry's like, hey, Ringo, can you go get me a girl, help me hit the high notes. It's Take 54, and he just needs a girl, down low to help him hit the high notes, and sing his balls off. It's a family show. I got to keep it clean, here at the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255 from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. But Take 54 is rated X, if you know what it's about. And, he just needed that girl to help him make a great track, And Take 54, I mean, you talk about a great track by Harry. Take 54 is a great way to start off this album with the saxophone. It's just awesome, man. And once you've listened to all 422 of Take 54, it's like you're convinced this is going to be an amazing, great album. And of course, Remember, oh man, it's just, Remember, Harry's just got this, he's just got this thing, man, where he writes these songs, and Remember Christmas, I just think of it as Remember. It's so fucking great. I love his voice on Remember. And of course, Joy, the country, little, once again, Harry's a Swiss Army knife. He's just a jack of all trades, throwing knuckles, curveballs, sliders. And out pops a country song that's just so amazing. Joy, where Harry's like, I want to be your joy boy. And you got me feeling all weird inside. I get all clammy. with joy. It's just such a disgusting country song, and then Turn on Your Radio is just awesome. That and Remember, they take me back to the Harry album, 1969. Just awesome. Side one's incredible of this album. And of course, You're Breaking My Heart, one of the greatest rock and roll songs in history ever written in rock and roll. You know You're Breaking My Heart. It's a family show here at the Clark the Shark Show. I got to keep it clean. But you're breaking my heart, and F you. Like, it's just awesome. Like, I think that might be the first profanity. I'm sure Zappa and some other bands did profanity on a song before. The Who has Dr. Jimmy. I'm sure there's plenty of profanity. Frank Zappa, We're Only in It for the Money, and I think the Jefferson Airplane have some. But the most organized FU is You're Breaking My Heart by Harry Nilsson. There's no doubt about it, but fuck you. I'm Harry and I'm drunk and I hang out with John Lennon. Harry and the Hollywood Vampires, Keith Moon, Mickey Dolenz. Harry, of course, his New York drunken ways. And hang out with John Lennon and John Bonham. John Bonham is on a Harry album. Because they all hang out up in Hollywood, the Hollywood Vampires. And it must have been an amazing time back in 1972, 73, hanging out with John Bonham, Keith Moon, Mickey Dolenz, Harry Nilsson, and John Lennon, playing pool all night. And then Alice Cooper is in it too, the Hollywood Vampires. And I'm sure that there's more. I heard even Pete Townsend hung out with the Hollywood Vampires. But they were all hanging out with Harry. Ringo would be, Harry's music, it's not very good. But Harry has the best hash. Ringo's like, this is all why we all hang out with Harry. We go to his pad in Malibu, and we just smoke the best hash with Harry Nilsson. I love Harry Nilsson, man. And of course, side 2 gets even better with Spaceman, which is just awesome, man. I think he's trying to be like David Bowie or something. I want to be a spaceman, 'cause nobody cares about me. I love it. And the Lottery song, he's like, do 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 do. I love the Lottery song, man. And I love At My Front Door. And Ambush almost sounds like that song by AC/DC. I love Ambush. It's killer, rock and roll killer, And I'd rather be dead than wet me bed. Like, just a deadpan humor from Harry. And the most beautiful world in the world with Ringo. It's... Side 2 is better than side 1, but I love side 1 too. I love Remember, Turn on Your Radio, You're Breaking My Heart. This album is an eclectic blend. It's just such a weird Harry Nilsson album. And yet it all works, man. When you listen to Son of SCHMILSSON, Harry Nilsson, I think Ringo loves this album. I think Keith Moon based his own solo album. He's trying to be like this one by Harry. It's just great. And, it's all good, man. I think, John Bonham plays drums on At My Front Door. I love that song, man. It's awesome. And Harry Nilsson, the great. Everyone thinks, Nilsson SCHMILSSON is so great. But Son of SCHMILSSON is great. I don't think either of these albums is as good as Pussycats. I really don't like the one where he sings all the American standards. But, Son of SCHMILSSON, 1972. I just remember being a little kid in Torrance, Redondo Beach, riding my bike with my headphones and listening to Harry. I love Son of Schmilsson. It's better than Nilsson Schmilsson. You know, I love Gotta Get Up and all those songs on Nilsson Schmilsson, man. You know, when you love Harry Nilsson, man, you're going to fall in love with all the 60s and, you know, and Nilsson sings Newman and, you know, The Point, you know, Me and My Arrow and all that stuff with Ringo narrating. But there's something about Son of Schmilsson that makes it my favorite Harry album. I'm not wild about, you know, the American Standards, the one where it's just all covers. I love Harry's voice. You know, Harry Nilsson has a great voice, and he hits high notes. He needs that one girl to help him make the right track. Take 54. Because she can go in the studio and, like, get down on her knees and, you know, help Harry hit the high notes. I'm going to keep it clean at 1-800-449-8255 at Clark the Shark Show. It's a family show, and I got to keep it clean here. I'm not going to tell you what Harry was writing about in Take 54, but I'm going to tell you this fucking album, Nilsson Schmilsson Part 2, Son of Schmilsson, 1972, is the best Harry Nilsson album. And anyone who knows Harry will say it's either Pussycats. You know, of course, that one's amazing. John Lennon produced it. But Son of Schmilsson, you know, just because of how groundbreaking and what a watershed album this was by Harry. You know, where he's the first guy to curse and swear in a song. I mean, Zappa did it. It's been done before. You know, it's nothing new. But the way Harry did it on a pop album, and you don't expect a guy who just won a Grammy in 1971. You don't expect that guy who's like a Elton John, you know, like a Barry Manilow or like a, you know, David Cassidy type, you know, like Harry. But Harry's really not like those guys, man. Harry is this drunken, crazy, psycho guy, you know. He's different. He's Harry. And it's all right if you swear, Harry. This is John. It's okay if you swear. You're breaking me heart. You know, Harry, you broke me heart. So fuck you, Harry. That's what I say to Harry for this album. Son of Schmilsson, 1972. This is my favorite Harry album. Son of Schmilsson, there's no doubt about it. This is a breakthrough watershed album. The profanity, never been done like this. And then all these great songs, man. This is Harry's most consistent, greatest album. Clark the Shark loves this album by Harry Nilsson. Son of Schmilsson. It's funny. I mean, Frank Zappa had to get a kick out of this album. Alice Cooper had to have laughed at this. Ringo, everyone, Keith Moon, Paul McCartney even liked it. I love Harry Nilsson. Are you kidding? I would never sue Harry with all me attorneys and lawyers and me publicist. I would never sue Harry. I'm like, Paul, you'd probably even sue Harry, you know, if he tried to write a biography about John. I bloody would never sue Harry. Never. At 1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show, the Wolfman Jack on Crack, the most amazing review of Harry Nilsson, Son of Schmilsson, 1972. I want you to buy this album and support Harry Nilsson, because I love Harry. I love Harry. Everyone's talking. Everybody's talking about Harry. And I don't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of me mind. Harry Nilsson, Son of Schmilsson, 1972. Amazing album. Nilsson Schmilsson Part 2. I love it. And you just got the only review you will ever need on the most amazing talk radio show from the most amazing reviewer on YouTube. Strike that from the record. The most amazing rock album reviewer in the history of all mankind. Clark the Shark from GE, The Greenhouse Effect in Redondo Beach. That's right. Harry Nilsson, Son of Schmilsson. And I'm out of here, me friends. This is Ringo, talking about me friend Harry. Great album. Clark the Shark bids you adieu. Peace, my brothers. I'm out.